नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। So in our last session, we discussed two verses of Bhagavad Gita, verse 9 and 10th of chapter number 4. So these two verses, we understood how Krishna, he appears not just to give protection to the devotees, not just to give annihilate the miscreants or to establish the dharma or religious principles. He appears out of his sweet will to perform his pastimes to attract the mind of the devotees, so that we all can get attracted towards the sweet pastimes of the Lord, and we develop a desire to go back to Godhead, who is a spiritual abode. And in the very next verse, Krishna was sharing the 6 things which are very important. I'll just take it up. Or anyone remembers what are the 6 things? Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha? Yes, anyone?
वित्राग भय क्रोध मन्मान मंपश्रित बहवो गणतो सत्ता मधुभाव मागता.
So there are 6 things which are very important. Or by developing Krishna consciousness, by developing bhakti, or by developing knowledge, one can get free from these 6 elements. What are those? Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Attachment, Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Fear, anger, and one who is fully absorbed in Krishna, take his shelter. And knowledge, all these 6 things are important. Fully absorbed in him, surrender to him, and knowledge. So how this knowledge now, very important aspect of it, I'll try to just cover it. Last session we could not cover it. So how this knowledge can be acquired? How this knowledge can be acquired? And here Krishna is mentioning many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me. So now here, very important thing that brings here is these scriptures or the instructions of Krishna plays a very vital role in acquiring the knowledge. How? Just like to acquire material knowledge, we have to go through proper education system. For an example, suppose gravitational acceleration, that g, small g value is 9.8 meter per second square. That is given by Newton. But now, I don't believe in what Newton gave. So how one can prove whether Newton, what value he gave is right or not? It's correct or not? I don't believe in his value, the value he has given. So what is the solution? I cannot conduct that test. If even though I conduct that test through pendulum in some laboratory, it will come close to like 9.65, 9.7, something like that. It will come, but not exactly 9.81. But if I place a faith, I believe in that. I'm seeing a lot of scientists, a lot of engineers. They are able to launch satellites. They are able to launch rockets into the space using that knowledge, using that value of G, because they have placed faith in the value which has been given by Newton. Same way here Krishna is mentioning many persons in the past have become purified by knowledge of me. Same way, when we trust Krishna's instructions, Krishna's words, these scriptures, when we follow and implement in our day-to-day life, one can see the effect. One can see the effect of it. Because a lot of people in the past, Krishna is mentioning, has become purified. How? By knowledge of me. Same way we can also acquire such knowledge, and by acquiring such knowledge, what will happen? Our transcendental love for Krishna will be established, and that is the whole and sole purpose of this human existence. So we'll move on to the next verse, and this verse is very interesting or very important verse for all of us to understand. And also this verse is very practical, so I'll try to complete this verse in today's class itself, even though there is a lot of very big explanation just to understand this verse, and I'm trying to cover main point through this verse also, that is surrender, which is Krishna is going to mention here, so that we are going to cover. So let us start with chanting the shloka. All of you please join. Ye yatha maham prapadyante
यथामं प्रपद्यन्ते
tam stheva bhajamyaham
तंस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्
mama vartmanuvartante
मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते
manushya partha sarvasah.
मनुष्यपार्थः सर्वस्वः.
Yes, anyone would like to chant the shloka?
यस् जे यथामं प्रपद्यन्ते तं तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः.
Wonderful. Anyone else?
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तं तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्य पार्थ सर्वशः.
Wonderful. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to try?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Ye yatha mam prapadyante tamstetva bhajante aham mam vartante manusyasya partha sarvasha.
Wonderful. Someone else?
Yes, Prabhu. ये यथा मा प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्यः पार्थ सर्वशः.
Wonderful. Yes, someone else? Someone else would like to try? Alright. We'll move to translation. All of them, as they surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pratha. Very important instruction Krishna is brought here. We'll read the purport and then we will try to understand more in detail. Everyone is searching for Krishna in different aspects of his manifestation. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahma-Jyoti effulgence and as the all-pervading Supersoul dwelt within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Krishna is only fully realized by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and another as his lover. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally, according to their different intensity of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with different types of worshippers. The pure devotees, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with Him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord, and thus derive transcendental bliss in His loving service. Very important point Prabhupada has mentioned here. The pure devotees, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with Him in person. Even in this material world, if a person is a pure devotee, he has developed a pure devotion for the Supreme Lord, he can associate with Krishna in person and can render personal services to that Supreme Lord and can experience the transcendental bliss in His loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into His effulgence. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them who are not situated even in the impersonal existence return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted into the spiritual planets, but they are again given a chance to act on material planets. For those who are footive workers, the Lord rewards the desired results to their prescribed duties as the Yagneshwara, and those who are yogis seeks mystic power are rewarded such powers, and in other words, everyone is dependent for the success upon His mercy alone. Everyone is dependent for success upon His mercy alone. Whether that success is spiritual or material, for each and every success, devotees are completely dependent upon His mercy alone. For that matter, even non-devotees also, they have to depend upon Krishna only. Dependency has to develop. And all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless therefore one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Akamo sarva kamo va moksha kamo dharida tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. Whether one is without desire, the conditions of devotees are fully free from all kinds of material desires. They are free from desires, kama. They are free from desires. Or is desires of fruitive results. Or somebody is having certain kind of desires. Fruitive desires means काम करना है तो पैसा चाहिए. Like I want to work, I want in return something. That is fruitive desire. Means I am worshipping the Lord, in return I want something from Him. That is fruitive desire. Or is after liberation, one should with all efforts try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culmination in Krishna consciousness. So here, very nice, interesting verse Prabhupada has mentioned, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo dharida tivrena bhakti yogena. Bhakti, this bhakti yoga, how it has to be performed is tivrena. Tivra means with great intensity. One should perform bhakti. And when, just like Prabhupada has translated this into, one should with all efforts, all his efforts, he should perform bhakti yoga. And by performing such bhakti yoga, he can attain Krishna in this very life, love for Krishna in this very life. Now here, Krishna is mentioning that all of them as they surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. So first of all, we will try to understand what is the meaning of surrender, why surrender is required. Why surrender is required, that we will try to understand first. The surrender to Supreme Personality of Godhead is required. For that, we have to understand the basic foundation of our own existence. Why this human form of life is required. If we can understand very purpose of our own existence, we can easily understand why surrender to Supreme Personality of Godhead is required. So what is the purpose of this human form of life? Is Punarjanmana Vidyate. We should not take birth again into this material existence. This material existence is full with dukha. This is known as dukhalyam ashashvatam. Just like in Vidyalaya you get Vidya knowledge, in Chikitsalaya you get treatment. Same way Krishna is mentioning this is dukhalyam. What you will get, dukha. Whatever you may try to do in your life, some way or other dukha will come to you. We want to be happy, but dukha is there. Right? So what is the solution to it? It's not like suppose some paint has come out, you do some patchwork and just it is over. No. Krishna is giving ultimate solution. What he is saying? He is saying one has to transcendence the cycle of birth and death. One has to come out of the cycle of birth and death. Because in this world, whatever you may try, padam padam yad vipadam nadesham, each and every step is full with dangers. You try this thing, there is a danger. You try that thing, there is a danger. It is simply bringing distress in our life. If I like rasgulla, I take 8 to 10 pieces of rasgulla. Next day I'll have my upset stomach. So, in this world, there are a lot of limitations. So, Krishna is inviting all of us to Paramadhama. He is mentioning you come to my supreme abode. Just like if you see recently lot of satellites, and even for that matter Mangalyaan or Chandrayaan has been launched by ISRO. So you might have little bit knowledge of it. We can relate that with our human life. Just like to send a rover to Mars or Moon, they need a rocket. They need a vehicle which can take that rover into the space onto some other planet. So same way, this human form of life we have been given. Now, when this rocket launch happens, that rocket, there are certain sections in the rocket which at various stages get separate, so that that particular rover or satellite can be established into its orbit. Or if we say rover can be sent onto the another planet. Now this separation of various stage rocket got completely separated. Now this rover is established into the external orbit of the Earth. So what happens? It keep orbiting this earthly planet, and it accelerate in such a way, it gains speed more and more. It gains its speed. Now to come out of the gravitational force of this Earth planet, escape velocity is required at certain point of time, at certain location in the orbit to come out of the gravitational force of Earth. So for that, few, how it happens is, in elliptical path, that satellite or that vehicle is rotating, and that path, it's at its perigee, there is a 2 points, perigee, apogee. 2 extremes are there. At one extreme, it's accelerate or speed up in such a way that speed has increased to certain extent. Then further it passes through that point. Further it, some fuel is required to again accelerate the speed. So like that velocities keep on increasing. At certain point of time, it reaches to its escape velocity, and that time they fire the engine, and immediately it comes out of that orbit of Earth, gravitational force of Earth. Same way, this human form of life is like this. This human form of life, we are rotating around this earthly planet, means it is related to the devotional service that we are performing in our day-to-day life. And at certain point of time, when we completely surrender to Krishna, when we depend upon Krishna, we can easily transcend the cycle of birth and death. We can easily come out of this gravitational force of this attraction towards this material world. We can easily come out of it. Very easily one can come out. So, in the scriptures it is mentioned, Harim Vinana Mritam Taranti. Without taking shelter of Lord Hari, without surrendering to Him, one cannot transcendence or come out of the cycle of birth and death. How much expert he may be in performing his duties towards the society, towards the family, whomsoever it may be, how much expert that person may be, until and unless that person completely takes shelter of that Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, he cannot transcend the birth and death. Now, when we talk about surrendering to Krishna, so how we understand this? So in this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also shared the instructions. Also it is mentioned in the scriptures. I'll just pull it out. Just a second. Here it is. These are the 6 principles of surrender. Anukullasya sankalpa, to desire only in accordance with the desire of Lord. Whatever Krishna is saying, we align ourselves with Krishna's desires or Krishna's instructions. Now, in day-to-day life, now question may arise, Prabhuji, how we will understand that whether my desire or the decisions that I am taking in my life are aligned with Krishna's desires or Krishna's directions or instructions? How I will understand this thing? So for this thing, we have to understand how Krishna reciprocates in our life based on current situation. That we have to understand. So Krishna, very basic, if we try to understand this, Krishna guides us when we say we are surrendered to the Supreme Lord Krishna. We have taken his shelter. So he guides us by giving various directions, indications. Just like when you drive onto the road, there are, suppose you are driving from Delhi to Vrindavan. Now you don't have any GPS or certain thing. So what you will do, first time you are doing, first you will ask someone. That person will guide you. So you take up that path, particular direction you follow, what that person guided. And further, you will see there will be some signboards which are telling you have to take a left, you have to take right, you have to drive 100 kilometers ahead to reach to Vrindavan. All these things, directions or indications will be given so that we can reach to our desired destination. Same way in our life, Krishna gives us indications whether we should pursue those things or not. He gives certain indications. Now in that, what happens? One very practical challenge we all of us face. What is that? Krishna has given certain indication, but we are not able to accept that. Means certain thing is visible, but I am not willing to see that. Certain thing is visible to me, but I am not willing to see that. So why this thing happens? There are two reasons. There are two reasons for this thing to happen. First is, there is a knowing-doing gap. There is a knowing-doing gap. Means we know what is good, what Krishna wants from us, but we are unable to follow. Why? Because there is lack of certain things. Just like to perform certain activity, you need three things: Jnana, Bala, Kriya. Suppose you want to construct a house. Now to construct a house, you need three things: Jnana, knowledge; Bala, resources like financial resources, land, some bricks, cement, all those things are required. And Kriya means skill, how you are going to design, where all, which rooms will be there, what all dimensions, all these things is our skill set, how perfectly you design the room. You need skill, labor and all those things you require. So what happens? Knowing doing gap, how it, act as a curtain to surrender to Krishna is, we have knowledge, but somewhere suppose we don't have bala, certain strength or resources are not there. We have only, suppose to do that 100% is required, but we have only 5% of it. In case when that desire is completely surrendered around Krishna, so you will see, you take an action, keeping that 5% with you, you surrender to Krishna. You surrender to Krishna. And you will see rest 95% of his strength will be supplied by the Supreme Lord Krishna. But in our life, how our mentality works is, first Krishna should provide me 95%. I should have 100%, then I'll surrender. I gather 100% strength, then I'll surrender. No. Krishna, how he expects is, you have 5%, you give 5% to me, surrender that 5%. With that 5% you surrender. Just like in our case, we want to construct the world's tallest temple, but we don't have any ability or resources. We don't have such a strength. But whatever strength is there, we are doing. And by Krishna's grace, it is manifesting. Even though we don't have any resources. But whatever limited resources we have, with that we are executing Krishna's mission. So Krishna is reciprocating. Wherever there is a gap, he is fulfilling that gap. And he is making that to 100%. In this connection, I narrate one pastime of Bali Maharaj. When Vaman Dev he appeared, he asked for 3 steps of land in charity from Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj, he said, what to speak of 3 steps? I can give you a lot of land. Then Vaman Dev he told, if Brahmana is not satisfied what he need, entire 3 worlds are not sufficient for him. Like that, a lot of conversation happened. But cut to short, this Bali Maharaj, he agreed to give 3 steps of land. And as we know, Vaman Dev, who was a daft Brahmana, he expended himself in such a way that with 1 step he covered all the upper planetary system. Another step, 2nd step, he covered all the lower planetary systems. Now he is telling Bali Maharaj, you have promised me to give 3 steps of land. Where is the place to keep the 3rd step? You are boasting so much, but there is no place. With 2 steps, everything I have measured. So here, Bali Maharaj, he completely surrendered, took shelter of Krishna. That my Lord, now I have nothing with me, but I surrendered myself to you. Finally, you place 3rd step on myself itself. I surrender to you. So as a result, Bali Maharaj, he became the king of some lower planetary system. And Krishna, it's not like Krishna is ungrateful. He took away all Bali Maharaj possessions. He became the doorkeeper of Bali Maharaj. To such surrender devotee, I want to associate with such surrender devotee. And for such surrender devotee, what Krishna is saying, let us read. Here, this is the pastime of Amrish Maharaj. Amrish Maharaj is the completely dependent and surrender devotee to Krishna. And he is observing all the regulative principles. Everything he is doing as per Krishna's desire. So one day, Dhruvasa Muni, he became angry with Bali Maharaj and he wanted to curse Bali Maharaj. He wanted to chastise him. So when he was chastising Amrish Maharaj, because Amrish Maharaj is he has surrendered himself to Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna has employed his personal weapon Sudarshan in the service of Amrish Maharaj to give protection to this Amrish Maharaj. So as soon as he was about to chastise Amrish Maharaj, this Sudarshan started running behind Dhruvasa Muni. To save himself, Dhruvasa Muni is running around entire creation, going to Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, everyone he approached, but he is not able to protect himself. Then they guided that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna only can give you protection. When he came to Krishna, Krishna is saying these things. We'll read out what he's saying, the Supreme Personality of God had said to Brahmana, to Durvasa Muni. He's saying, I am completely under the control of my devotees. I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent. Krishna is telling, I am not at all independent. Don't think I am independent. I am completely dependent upon my devotees. Why? Because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires. I sit only within the course of their heart. And this is what Lord Brahma is also saying. What he is saying, Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. He is always carrying Lord in his heart. Hridayeshu means in his heart. What he is doing, he is carrying the Lord. What to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotees are very dear to me. Krishna is telling. Further, he is telling, O best of the Brahmanas, without saintly persons for whom I am the only destination, I do not desire to enjoy my transcendental bliss and my supreme opulence. Krishna is mentioning here that even without my devotees, I do not desire to enjoy my supreme opulence. Just like Krishna, he has appeared 5,000 years back. So he appeared along with his devotees, his sakhas, his gopis, cows, so that he can enjoy with them this transcendental bliss. And he wants all of us also to enjoy that transcendental bliss. That's why he is performing these activities by which our mind can be attracted to him. Our mind can be attracted. Further, he is mentioning how come these pure devotees or these devotees become so glorious? This is Krishna is going to mention here. What he is telling? Since pure devotees give up their homes, wives, children, relatives, riches, even their lives, simply to serve me, without any desire for material improvement in this life or in the next, how can I give up such devotees at any time? See with what emotion Krishna is saying that my devotees, they give up all their personal comforts, everything they give up, just like gopis. If you see, in the dead of the night, they left their husbands, their family, their kids, just to go and see Krishna, meet Krishna, serve Krishna for his pleasure. So Krishna is telling, how can I give up such devotees at any time? I cannot give up such devotees. These devotees are like my life and soul. Next verse he is saying, I think, as chaste women bring their gentle husband under their control by service, the pure devotees who are equal to everyone and completely attached to me in the core of the heart, bring me under their full control. To such devotees, I am completely under their control. Just like Yashoda Maya, Kunti Maharani, she is saying, what kind of, this thing, like bewilderment it is, astonishing thing it is that Bhaya personified fears from you. He get fearful from you. But you are fearing some ordinary woman, Yashoda Maya? What kind of leelas are this, my Lord? He is praying to Krishna, Kunti Maharani. Because Krishna wants to be controlled by Yashoda Maya. Because Yashoda Maya don't know anything except Krishna, and Krishna does not know anything except Yashoda Maya. Further, he is saying, my devotees who are always satisfied to be engaged in my loving devotees are not interested even in the four principles of liberation, Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, Sashti. Although these are automatically achieved by their service, what then is to be said of such perishable happiness as elevation to the higher planetary system? So here Krishna is mentioning, my devotees, they are not even interested in the liberation. What to speak of perishable happiness? This world, this material world offers us what kind of happiness? Perishable happiness. Perishable means after certain time it will be perished. It will no longer exist. Such perishable happiness, what to speak of liberation, my devotees, what to speak of this perishable happiness, my devotees, they don't desire even liberation. And such devotees, Krishna is telling, the pure devotees is always within the core of my heart. Such devotees are always just like core of my heart means what? When you love someone, always you keep that person in your heart. How? By remembering that person. Always you will be constantly remembering and thinking of that person. Right? Same way Krishna, he is thinking of such pure devotees always. To the extent, he is so eager that there was one great devotee by name Nama Alvar. He was such an exalted devotee. When he left this planet and went to Vaikuntha, Krishna personally came to receive him. He was so eager to meet such pure devotee. He personally came to receive him. And further he is saying, I am always in the heart of my pure devotees. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. It is not like they are only in my heart. My devotees are also keeping myself in their heart. Wherever they see me only. They don't know anything but me. I also don't know anything but them. This is the instruction that Krishna is giving to Dhruvasa Muni. And to such devotee you have offended, O Dhruvasa. He is further mentioning, I cannot do anything. He is mentioning, O Brahmana, let me now advise you for your own protection. Please hear from me. By offending Maharaj Amrish, you have acted with self-envy. Therefore, you should go immediately without a moment's delay. One so-called power, when employed against the devotee, certainly harms he who employs it. Thus, it is the subject, not object who is harmed. So he is advising, now nothing is in my hand. You have offended my devotee. Only by taking shelter of my devotee you can be protected. I cannot also protect you. So that is the power of surrender to Krishna. To such surrender devotee, Krishna is ready to become chariot driver. Krishna is ready to do anything for such devotees. We take great pleasure to be with such devotees. We want to constantly accompany such devotees. So, moving further, first thing is, we are not able to surrender to the Lord because of knowing doing gap, and that can be overcome just by following his instruction, having faith in his instruction. With that faith, when we follow, he will reciprocate, he will take care. He will give the all required strength. He will give the all required strength. Just like Arjuna, he didn't have the capacity to fight with great Maharathis, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, to defeat all of them. Was not so easy for him to do alone. But he accepted. There was knowing doing gap. He accepted immediately. Acceptance was there of Krishna's orders, Krishna's instruction. So Krishna, he facilitated everything. Facilitated all what was required. Now, second point which stops us to surrender is weakness of our heart. How weakness stops? I'll give one example through my own life. When I was a small kid, I used to, my grandfather, he had a habit of smoking. Very frequently, he used to smoke in a day. So I used to tell him, you leave smoking, it's not good for you. Many times I told him, but he never listened to me. So one day, he got heart attack. After getting heart attack, doctor advised him not to smoke. He came, returned back to home, and there he was telling me that you were right. You asked me many times to leave smoking, but I never paid attention and I never listened to you. But if I could have stopped this smoking, I would not have suffered this heart attack. So he then told, from now onwards, I'll leave the smoking. Now onwards, I'll leave the smoking. So what happens, because he was so much attached to smoking, when someone who is a well-wisher advises for the well-being, just like I advised my grandfather, because he was so much anchored, so much attached to the smoking, my advice didn't appeal to him. He could not accept because he was so much attached. So these attachments are like weaknesses of our heart. Just like Arjuna is having attachment towards his family members and kingsmen, that was his weakness. And Krishna brought in front of all such family members like Bhishma and Drona, chariot. Now you fight with your weakness. Just like you see, diabetes is very common. For diabetic patient who are very attached to some sweets, for them it is very difficult to listen to the advice of their family members not to eat, because out of the weakness of their heart they are not able to listen to give up sweets. One such example comes in Bhagavatam also. Example of Lord Shiva and Sati. Lord Shiva, being an exalted personality, he advised Mother Sati, because Mother Sati, she desired to go to visit her father Daksha, who was conducting the yagna. So Lord Shiva advised Mother Sati not to go to her father's place. He advised very strongly. But out of the attachment for the father and other family members, out of that weakness, she could not resist herself, and eventually she went to Daksha's place, and there, because Lord Shiva is an exalted personality, he knows everything, he is completely well versed. He knows that Daksha's mind. So Daksha, he insulted Lord Shiva in front of Mother Sati. Insulted the position of Lord Shiva, even though Lord Shiva is not there. But out of that enmity, that enviousness, he insulted Lord Shiva. And Mother Sati, she could not tolerate the insult of her husband, who is an exalted devotee. So immediately she decided that this body is given by my own father. So it's better to give up such body. I don't want my father's body itself, the body he has given, because my father is so much envious of my husband, who is such an exalted personality. And now he cannot, return to Lord Shiva also, because she rejected the advice, good advice of Lord Shiva, and she came here. So what she decided, she immediately sat and ignited a fire, and that fire automatically came out of her body and she left the body. So out of the weakness of her heart, she could not accept the good advice of Lord Shiva, and she had to eventually she had to suffer and face such consequences. She has to face such consequences in her life. That havoc, later on, many of you know what havoc happened. One more example comes is of Chitraketu. He is also very exalted devotee. And this Chitraketu, he had how many wives? Any guess? Someone would like to guess how many wives he had, Chitraketu? Any guesses? Nobody wants to guess, huh? Any number? Just throw out some numbers.
Prabhuji, I haven't heard the name even.
Okay. Any other? Okay, so Chitraketu not only had one wife, 2 wife, 10 wife, 100 wife, 1000 wife, 10,000 wife, 1 lakh wife, 10 lakh wife. He had 1 crore wives. 10 million wife he had. Now to comprehend this, it's not easy. But he is an exalted devotee. So for devotees, things are not tough. They can... earlier kings used to have so many wives, so he had 1 crore wives. But through those 1 crore wives, he could not conceive even a one child, single child. He could not have in his life. Even a single child. So his only grief in the life is, I'm not having a child. I'm not having a child. I'm not having a child. I'm not having a son who can continue the dynasty. I'm not having. He was completely devastated by this thought. To the extent one day, Angira Muni, he came. Angira Muni is a son of Brahma. He came, visited him. He saw his disturbance, that this king is disturbed by some thought. So he inquired, what is disturbing you? So he expressed his thought that I am not having a son even though I have 10 million wives. So this Angira Muni, because devotees by nature, they are very compassionate, he arranged a yagna, and out of that yagna, he gave the prasad to this Chitraketu and told, give this to your wife and you will conceive a child. But remember one thing, now you want a child, this child will be the source of your happiness also and lamentation also. So this king, he thought for a moment, lamentation might be, this child will be notorious. He might be very naughty. He may not listen to my advices. He may not follow my instructions. But it is better to have a child than a child who is not following my instruction at all. So he gave that prasad to his wife, and that principal wife, queen, she conceived a son very soon. They gave birth to a son. Now son is born. Now king, after so many years, he is having his own son. So his love for that queen as well as for son increased like anything. To the extent, he neglected the presence of all other queens. And when all other queens were, neglected in such a way, they became envious of this son, because son is the cause of negligence. So all of them, they decided to kill this son. So what happened? They fed the poison to this son, and that son died. The son died. Now that principal queen, and this king is completely devastated. They are not all able to maintain the composure. And at that time, Angira Muni arrived along with Narad Muni. Narad Muni, he enlightened this Chitraketu. Even though he is an exalted devotee, he enlightened Chitraketu in such a way he could give up the weakness or attachment of his heart. And because Narad Muni is so exalted, he revived that dead body again. He invoked the very same soul who has taken up this body of a child. He invoked that soul back to the dead body. And that's now small child only. He started speaking. That what are you speaking? This birth, they are my father and mother. Earlier birth, someone else my father and mother. Like this, so many births I am taking. So many father mothers I have gone through. If they were my real father and mother, why they were not there in my previous birth? In previous birth, from the beginning, they were not there. Only thing what was there in my life was Krishna as my supreme father. So I don't want to stay here. We come together, we get separated. All those things, he started enlightening this Chitraketu, and Chitraketu, he got completely convinced, and he let his son go to continue his spiritual journey. And he further accepted the complete path of devotion. He accepted a path of complete surrender, and he developed the dependency upon that Supreme Lord. So now, this weakness, we are not able to surrender to the Lord because of two things. First is knowing doing gap. Second thing is weakness of our heart. So we can do this only when we help ourselves. God helps those who help themselves. Just like we have got this human form of body. Suppose, for an example, you are there in your home and you have invited a certain person, so and so timing. But what happened? You are busy in so much of your household work, doing this, doing that, and you have plugged some earbuds or some headphones. High music is going on. Now this person has arrived to your doorstep, is ringing the bell. But because you have put up headphones, you are not able to hear that voice. You are not able to hear the voice of the doorbell. That person is continuously pressing the doorbell, 10 minutes over, 15 minutes over, but you are so much absorbed in hearing some high music that you are not at all able to attend that person to whom you have invited. Same way in our life, we are so much busy in gratifying our senses to live for this bodily pleasure that we are inviting the Lord, we are surrendering to the Lord, but we are not able to relate with Him. He is there ringing the bell, but because of our so much of anarthas, so much of absorption in this material existence, material world, we are not at all able to listen to the good advice of the Supreme Lord. We are not at all able to listen to the good advice of that Supreme Lord. Such an unfortunate thing it is for a devotee. That's why we have to pray to the Lord. What happens in our life, many a times, out of greed, we clutter our life so much so that Lord wants to help us. We are not able to listen to His good advice. We are not able to surrender to Him. That's why, just like if you see an aircraft is there, aircraft is meant to fly into the sky. But now, what you do, suppose you want to go from Delhi to Bombay, pilot has taken up his seat. Now this pilot is telling, let us go today through road. How? We'll cross the runway, we will come to the main highway, and from there we'll go from Gurgaon. There is a direct highway to Bombay. Very nice road is there. I've gone by road. Let me take up that road. I'll drive this aircraft by road so that we can reach to Bombay. Another pilot will tell, what a foolish fellow you are. This aircraft is meant to fly. You are misutilizing this aircraft. You fly this aircraft. You can reach much earlier than by going by road. Then, rather than going by road, you can reach much earlier. Same way, we have got this human form of life. But out of our so many material desires, sometimes we complicate our life or clutter our life in such a way that it takes a lot of time to surrender to the Lord, to reach to the destination. So what is the solution? You have to take up a certain speed and fly into the sky. Now, recently I was in a trip. So when aircraft go into the sky, for certain 10-15 minutes of initial flight, 10 minutes especially, you see you can see the various cities down there, lot of fields, agricultural fields, and all those sceneries and all these things you can see, and you take a lot of sometimes you feel very nice. Oh, see how it is looking and all that, how cities are arranged. When you take off and landing is happening, you see all that, how in different areas, different ways of arrangement of cities, all these things you see. So I was like, why not entire journeys like this? Where you take pleasure in seeing down there. So then I was thinking for a while, then one thing reflected to me, that when aircraft take off at a certain altitude, from zero altitude, it goes gradually to 1,000 feet, 5,000 feet, 7,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 14,000 feet. So gradually, it's taking higher altitude. Why? So that air resistance can be reduced. Air resistance can be reduced so that aircraft with less amount of fuel can go with a high speed and reach to destination in a short time. So what that aircraft does, it goes from zero altitude to 10,000 feet, 14,000 feet. After a certain time, it goes to 30,000 feet, where friction, which is most suitable speed or altitude to cruise for an aircraft, which that aircraft experience very less air resistance and can reach to destination and can fly with a great speed and can reach to destination in a short time. If suppose that aircraft is flying at 5,000 feet only, there is lot of resistance is there, first thing. Second thing is lot of fuel and energy of the aircraft is required, pilot energy is required. and lot of maintenance to aircraft is required, and it will take lot of time to reach to that destination. It will take lot of time to reach to that destination. That's why it is very, very important in our life, day-to-day life. We should reserve our energy, time and energy in such a way that it is utilized for Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's service. That goal of human life existence can be fulfilled. We can surrender to Lord very easily. Otherwise, when a lot of clutter is there, it's very difficult to find the things. But when things are sorted, simple, you just go with your, closed eyes also, you can take up the things. It becomes very sulabha. That is what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita also, in the 8th chapter. We'll come to next point now. It took a lot of Pratikullasya varjanam, reject which is not favorable of what is not favor in of devotion. What is not favor of devotion in our devotion, which is not aligned with Krishna's instruction, which is not aligned with our bhakti, one should reject it. One should reject it. One such example is of Bali Maharaj. He rejected his own very spiritual master because Lord Vishnu is standing. He is telling this Shukracharya is telling, don't give land in charity to this Vamandev. He is Vishnu. He will take away everything. Whereas earlier this same spiritual master is told, or scriptures are saying, serving Vishnu is the highest thing. Now Vishnu has come, he is telling don't serve him. So he rejected his spiritual master immediately and served Vamandev by fulfilling his desire. Same way in our life, sometimes we come across situations like suppose in your office, you may be offered, like you are working for 8 hours. They may offer you promotion, increment, and they may ask you, now you have to work for 10 hours or 12 hours. Because a lot of responsibilities you may gain by getting such promotion and increment or transfer, whatever it may be. If you see, from 8 hours, now you have to work for 12 hours. You have to work for 12 hours. Earlier, you were working 8 hours, you were able to do your, devotional service, you were able to chant, you were able to hear some lecture, you were able to read Bhagavatam, you were able to read Bhagavad Gita, all these some devotional practices you were able to do, you were able to spend quality time with your family, all that you were able to do. But now, we out of some gain of money or gain of position or something, we have accepted that offer. Now peace of our mind has gone. We are not able to chant properly. We are not able to chant, what to speak of chant properly. We are not able to chant our minimum rounds. We are not able to go to temple frequently. We are not able to read Bhagavad Gita. We are not able to, attend session, or we are not able to hear lectures. All these things we are not able to do. So if you see, earlier you were working for 8 hours and it was not like you were not, able to maintain yourself. You were not able to survive yourself. You were surviving earlier also. But now out of some position, money or something, we have accepted such hardship in our life that now we are getting a lot of difficulty to serve Krishna. So such difficulties or such things we can avoid in our life. And when we avoid, you will see Krishna's reciprocation. You will see Krishna's reciprocation. Rakshati iti vishwaso. The faith that God will surely protect me. God will surely protect me. Many a times, what happens? Sometimes we get sick. We fall sick, or some of our family members, relatives, they fall sick. I've seen certain cases where some family member is so sick that other family members, they're completely disturbed. They've lost the peace of their mind. In such a way, they are not able to perform their day-to-day life task. Why? Because they don't have faith, they don't have dependency upon the Lord. That Krishna, He is maintaining all the living entities from an ant to an elephant, whale, whatever. So many entities are there in this existence. Humans are just only 7-8 billion. But if you see the animals, they are 20 billions times 20 billion. That is the number of animals. They are not going to office, but still they are taken care. They are protected. Who is protecting them? Krishna is protecting. Same way in our life, many a times we come across certain situations where we get completely disturbed by not having dependency or faith in Lord that Krishna will protect me. Just like Draupadi. Draupadi, she approached everyone in the assembly. Her own husbands, ministers, exalted great warriors, king, Dhritarashtra. She approached each one of them. No one is coming forward to protect her. She tried by her own strength also, but not at all able to protect herself. At the end, she completely depended upon that Supreme Lord Krishna. Hey Damodara, hey Govinda, oh Madhava, please protect me. And when we depend upon Krishna like a helpless child, He will immediately run and protect us. He will immediately run and protect us. And this assurance Krishna is giving in the Bhagavad Gita also. Name bhakta pranashyati, kauntya pratijanihi, name bhakta pranashyati, or kauntya or Arjuna, you declare boldly that my devotees, they never perishes. Nothing will happen to my devotee. Why? Because I love them. They are there in my heart. I don't know anything except my devotees. So nothing will happen to my devotees. Krishna is giving that assurance. Krishna is giving that assurance. Same thing we can see in Prabhupada's life. And Prabhupada, he was not at all willing to go to Western countries, foreign countries, to leave Vrindavan, and he has to go to Western countries. He was not at all willing to go because he was very, very happy in Vrindavan. He was not at all willing to go to such foreign countries where no one is interested to listen Hari Katha, to listen about Krishna. They are so much absorbed in their own activities, sense gratification, meat eating, this, that, so many things. They are completely absorbed and lost. That Prabhupada didn't want to go to such foreign countries where people are not at all interested. But to follow the order of his spiritual master, he decided, no, I will go. I have to fulfill the desire of my spiritual master. I have to go. So at the age of 70, when he is going in the cargo ship, in the cargo ship there is no facility of medical and all these things. You get a basic bare minimum stay. And if you see 1965, some 50-60 years back, there were hardly any facilities, right? So there is no such facilities. He is going, and in the Arabian Sea, he got 2 times heart attack. 2 consecutive days back to back. Heart attack he got. 70-year-old, no medical facility, no one is there to take care of him. First day he got heart attack, second day he got heart attack. He understood, if I get tonight also heart attack, I'll not survive. Air captain is telling, I'll take you back. We'll reverse this ship and we'll take you back. You are very important. You are such a saintly person. If something happens to you, we will get the sin of it. So we will take you back. But Prabhupada said, no. I want to go and fulfill the desire of my spiritual master. I want to serve him. I want to spread the message of Krishna. So third night, which was the toughest night, because now if he gets heart attack, he'll not be able to survive. He will die. Rather than getting heart attack, he got a dream. A spiritual dream. In that dream, he is envisioning, is seeing that there is one more boat, big boat, and that boat is carrying, pulling this ship in which Prabhupada is traveling. And in that another boat, who is there? Krishna is there. Krishna's various avatar is there. Kurma, Vamana, all these are there. All those personalities are there. All those avatar are there. And various acharyas are there. And that boat is pulling this ship. So Prabhupada immediately got confidence that Krishna wants me to go to Western countries. He wants me to preach this message to English-speaking people. I must now go. Whatever happens, let it happen. Whatever comes, I'll accept it. He was completely dependent upon Krishna's protection. From last 2 days also, he was completely dependent. He was adamant, no, I want to go, I'll not go back. I'll continue, whatever happens, let it happen. Krishna, my spiritual master, wants me to go, I'll go. Third night, Krishna took his test. 2 consecutive days, such a tough day, that Krishna personally came in his dream to show that I am there with you. Do not worry. I am there with you. And when Prabhupada was recollecting, when he was crossing the Suez Canal and entering into Pacific Ocean and crossing the Pacific Ocean, that very same Captain Pandey is saying, from last 30 years I am sailing into these oceans, especially Pacific Ocean. But first time in my life, I am experiencing this Pacific Ocean to be very, very calm. No disturbance at all. So Prabhupada said, because Krishna knows that if there is a disturbance, I may die. So Krishna has arranged that there is no disturbance at all. So same way, when we develop such dependency upon Lord, by praying different ways, Krishna, he reciprocates. He reciprocates very actively. Gopitratve varnam tatha, to maintain an attitude of gratitude toward Lord. An attitude of gratitude toward Lord, toward God. That Krishna, he is maintaining me. He is facilitating everything, life after life. All my basic necessities, he is taking care of them so nicely. Devotees, they take pleasure by expressing their gratitude, by offering prayers, by surrendering. They take such pleasure. Atmachipya, to see everything we possess as a belonging to God. It is very simple if we see. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Ham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. That from me everything is emanating. From me everything is emanating. Actually, from Krishna, all these gross elements comes into the existence. From those gross elements, entire creation happened. So everything, even a drop of blood in my body belongs to Krishna. The ability I have, the ability to speak, I am speaking in front of all of you. This ability is coming from where? From Krishna. The intelligence, what to speak, is coming from where? From Krishna. Everything is coming from him. I am able to digest my food. from where it is happening. I am not triggering some switches in my body. Krishna, who is situated in my stomach as a fire, he is digesting the food. The food from where I am getting. Even though farmer is growing, I am paying some money, all that is happening. From where that food has come into the existence? From Krishna. Just like if you see Shakespeare, suppose Shakespeare is there, he has written a lot of things, lot of work he has done. Now, rather than giving credit to Shakespeare, you give credit to the pen of Shakespeare. No, pen is the one, no, by which he could written all these things. So you gave entire credit to pen rather than recognizing Shakespeare. So pen may be the immediate cause, but ultimate causes means relative causes Shakespeare. But if you see, ultimate cause of everything is Krishna. This we should understand. This we should understand. Very important point. Karpanye, to give up the pride of having surrender. Or another thing is, one should be humble and meek. And what is real humility? Prabhupada explained. Real humility is, I am nothing. My Lord is everything. I have no ability. Lord is everything. Let me take shelter onto Him. Let me surrender to Him. He is the one who can give everything to me. With such humble attitude, when we surrender to the Lord, He accepts us immediately. He accepts us immediately. Even once, Krishna, today only I was reading this, so I thought to share also. Once these demigods, they were had a fight with a Vratasura, who is a great demon. He was a great devotee too. So these demons were not able to defeat this Vratasura. So they prayed to that Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord is there, standing in front of them. And what he is saying, Krishna is saying, let us read. Those who think material assets to be everything or to be the ultimate goal of life are called misers, kripanas. Though they do not know ultimate necessity of soul. Moreover, if one awards that which is desired by such fools, he must also be considered foolish. Krishna himself is saying here that we, in our entire life, we are running after so many material assets, so many material desires as an life and soul, as an ultimate goal of our life. We want some bank balance, property, this, that, so many things we are aspiring, which are completely independent upon Krishna. There is no relationship of Krishna with those things. So such life is a life of a miser. Miser means he is having crores of rupees with him, but he is not willing to spend his money to take care of him. Same way, we have got this human form of life to develop dependency upon Lord, to develop our relationship with that Supreme Lord, to come out of this cycle of birth and death. But what happens? We get completely absorbed in so many such things that we forget our ultimate goal of purpose. They do not know ultimate necessity of soul. Ultimate necessity of soul is what? To be with Krishna. Just like you give a fish is there, you keep in the gold cage and everything you do for the fish, nice bedding, this, that, everything you do. But if you don't give a fish water, fish cannot survive. She'll die. Same way, if we don't give our soul presence of Krishna, we are committing spiritual suicide. Whatever we may give, nice palatial building, bank balance, this, that, all has no meaning if Krishna is not there. Just like in the life of fish, water is not there, all those things has no meaning at all. And such act Krishna is telling is act of a foolishness. It is an act of a foolishness. Now let us see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says about surrender. Here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ashlishya padratam pinashtumam darshanan mahma atam karotu va yatha tatha va vidadatu lampato mat prananathas sueva napara. Very wonderful instruction Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying here. What is saying? I do not know anyone except Krishna as my Lord. He shall always remain as such. Even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or he may make me broken-hearted by not being present before me, he is completely free to do anything and everything. But he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. That is the real surrender. In our life, whatever situation we may go through, sometimes Krishna may embrace us, sometimes he may reject us. Whatever situation it may be, whether we are happy, we are sad, we are completely devastated, our heart is completely broken. In spite of all this, if we serve Krishna, that is unconditional surrender. Now what is happening in our life? We are doing conditional surrender, situational or some issue based surrender, we can say. Some issue is there. My Lord, free me from such issue. I am ready to do this. I am ready to do that. I am ready to offer you coconut. I am ready to offer this much money, this, that. I am ready to do all that, but take me out of such situation. Whereas our real surrender should be whatever situation you want, my Lord, to keep me in, you keep. Whether you want to reject me, accept me, but I will serve you unconditionally. Whatever situation it may be, I'll serve you. I'll take complete shelter of you. Such is the surrender of a great devotee, Mayur Dhwaja, very exalted devotee. Since to narrate his pastime is my fortune. Even Krishna take pleasure hearing such glories of devotees. So he was a devotee from Mahabharata time only, during Dwapar Yuga, and these Pandavas were also there. He was so surrendered, completely absorbed in the thought of Krishna. Even though he was a king, he was not at all worried about his own personal comforts, personal happiness. Even though he is always absorbed in the thought of Krishna, he is always desiring to have darshan of Krishna because Krishna is there present during that time. But he is not getting a chance to meet his Lord. Lord of his heart is not getting a chance. He is complete in agony, in pain, not able to meet his Lord. So once what happened, when this Yudhishthir Maharaji was performing Ashwamedha Yagna. So in Ashwamedha Yagna, that Ashwa has to go into the entire, globe. If anyone challenges that king supremacy, he has to catch hold of that Ashwa and fight with the king. So here now Arjuna is taking this Ashwa to the entire globe. So what happened? This Mayur Dhwaja son came to know that Arjuna is coming along with horse. Now capture me this horse. Why? This Tamra Dhwaja, his son name was Tamra Dhwaja, he is also great devotee. But what he is thinking, if I capture this horse, I'll get a chance to fight with Arjuna. If I defeat Arjuna, Krishna will come and I'll get a chance to have a darshan of Krishna. This is his thought process. With this thought process, he catch hold of a horse. He defeated Arjuna. Arjuna is unconquerable, cannot be defeated. But he defeated Arjuna so easily that Arjuna, remembered Krishna, and Krishna came. And Krishna is, seeking help of Krishna. Krishna, how come we got defeated in your presence? Krishna then shared, he is my great devotee. Now to show how great is this devotee, Krishna disguised himself as a Brahmana and asked Arjuna to disguise as a disciple or a Shishya of this Brahmana. They both approached this king Mayurdhwaja, and from this king, and this king is so devoted that even to the low-born person in his kingdom, he has inspired them to take up the shelter of Lord Krishna, and they are completely filled with the devotion. Even they are low-born, Shudras. They are such exalted devotees. Shudras are also very great devotees. So now, Krishna, he visits this king, and whenever Brahmana they visit, so king duty is to give charity. So he asked the purpose, and Krishna shared, I want to have something in charity, because my son has been attacked by some beast, and that beast has placed a condition. Then only he will release my son, if that condition is fulfilled. What is that condition? Krishna is saying, first you promise me that you will give a charity, then only I'll share this condition. Because this condition is not easy to fulfill. King is promising, okay, I'll fulfill. I'll give my words, I'll fulfill the promise. Then Krishna shares, only when I take your body to the beast, then he will release my son. And how I have to take your body? Your body should be chopped into two halves. And one half of your body I have to take to the beast, then only release my son. And how it has to be chopped off? It should be chopped off by your own son. Then only I'll take and give this body to beast and get my son released. So this Mayurdhwaja, he agreed, and his son, he chastised his son and asked his son to cut off body into two half. While body is getting cut off in two half, he is crying. So this Brahmana told, I don't want charity from you. You are in distress. What is the use if charity is not giving heartfully? You are in distress. Such charity I don't want. So this king Mayurdhwaja, he shares that I am not crying because I don't want to give this charity. I am crying because my second half of my body will not be utilized. You are a Brahmana. Brahmana, they are worshipper of Krishna. They worship Krishna. They are completely absorbed in Krishna's thought. What is the use? My second half of my body will not be utilized in Krishna's service. It is my great unfortune. He is like that, he is crying. Seeing all this incident, Arjuna started crying. That what such a great exalted devotee he is, that to serve Krishna he is ready to sacrifice everything. Krishna is not ready to give him darshan. So many years, Krishna is not at all giving his darshan, is not, blessing him with the darshan. But this devotee is completely satisfied and absorbed in Krishna's thought that Krishna has to now personally come to bless him, give darshan. Such is the power of surrender. Develop dependency upon Lord. Now question may arise, okay, if we surrender ourselves to the Lord, we are executing so many duties also, so many things are there we have to take care of, dependency we have to develop. So when we develop all this dependency, this surrender when we do to the Lord, will Lord not take care of our basic material necessities of our life? He will take care. Personally, He will take care. That Krishna is assuring in Bhagavad Gita. He is saying, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. My devotees, they are completely Ananyas chintayanto mam. They are completely absorbed in thinking of me. To such devotees, I provide whatever they lack. If they lack some jnana, I provide that. If they lack some bala, I provide that. If they lack some kriya, that also I will provide. And I preserve whatever they have. I provide everything to them. To such devotees who are completely absorbed in me, I provide everything to them, and they will not at all suffer. And such surrendered devotees, whether they are rich or poor, whether they are Sudama or a great devotee like Yudhishthira, they are always satisfied in all the situations, in all the conditions of their life. They are simply satisfied, and they are executing their devotional service for the pleasure of the Lord. Just like in our life, if you see what should be the basis of our decision, if we can understand that key, we can easily, depend upon the Lord. Our basis of decision should be whether this thing is going to please or satisfy Krishna or not. Just like I'll narrate one small story again. Past time, not story, past time. Once Krishna had a very severe headache or fever, and no physician in this, entire Dwarka, best of the physicians are there, but no one is able to get the cure. How this fever can be cured, no one is able to figure out. Narad Muni, he visited Krishna. He inquired, "Oh my Lord, what has happened to you?" Krishna shared that only when my devotees' lotus feet dust is applied on my forehead, then only I can be relieved of this fever. So Narad Muni, he approached various devotees, queens of Dwarka, Krishna. They asked like, how we can give our feet dust. Krishna is our husband. We will not have, a space even in the hell if we give dust of our feet to our husband. He approached various other devotees, Pandavas. Pandavas are telling, no, how we can give? If we give, we will not, will directly go to the hellish planet. Various Brahmanas, they are saying, we will go to hellish planet. We cannot give. But when Narad Muni, he came to Vrindavan, he met gopis, explained, narrated the entire incident, situation, that like this, Lord is going through suffering, means going through fever, and condition is if any devotee gives the dust from their lotus feet, he will get cure immediately. So immediately gopis, they collected the dust from their feet and gave to Narad Muni. Narad Muni, go immediately and apply this dust on his feet. Don't delay. Narad Muni is saying, you are not fearing of the sin that you will go to hellish planet. They are like, we are not at all bothered about ourselves. Let me go to hellish planet. But if my Krishna is taken care, if he is pleased, I am ready to go to hellish planet also. We are ready to go to hellish planet also. So don't delay, immediately you go and let Krishna be all right, we are ready to go to hellish planet. So that is the surrender of these gopis. That's why the gopis are all exalted devotees, topmost devotees of Krishna, because for them, their personal comfort is not at all matters. What matter is whether Krishna is pleased or not. Whether Krishna is pleased or not. So they are completely surrendered for Krishna's pleasure. So when in our life we take such decisions which are surrounded or which are anchored in such a way that they are for Krishna's pleasure, we will be always victorious and we will attain Krishna's favor without any doubt. So as we surrender, Krishna reciprocate. If we surrender Krishna completely, he'll reciprocate completely. If we surrender 10%, he'll reciprocate 10%, 50%, 50%. If we surrender for a minute, he'll reciprocate for a minute. If every moment we surrender, he'll reciprocate every moment. Even atheists, they don't want to believe in Krishna. So Krishna, he gives all the reasons to atheists that they should get reasons not to believe in me. All that Krishna reciprocates with all the living entities as per their surrender. So that choice we have to make in our life, how we want to surrender. And it is not like if we surrender, Krishna will not take care. Krishna will take care personally. There is one Akbar Birbal pastime in this connection. Once they went for hunting and they could not, they lost in the forest. So Birbal, he got engaged because it is an evening time, dawn time. He has to perform his, rituals and he has to worship the Lord, remember chanting, all that he has to do. So he's busy in all that. And Akbar is telling, what you are doing, you are completely always chanting a Lord name. Will that Lord satisfy your hunger? Will he give you food? How you will survive? So he is not at all bothered. He is completely absorbed in chanting. So Akbar, he is like, this person is a foolish fellow. He is not at all bothered. Let me at least go into the forest and look and make some arrangement. He go and he found a hut where which he could get some dinner. And while returning, he requested that person, can I get some dinner for my fellow minister? That person packed some dinner for Birbal also. This Akbar brought the dinner for Birbal and handed over the dinner to Birbal. Now Birbal is out of happiness. He got up and he is completely surprised and he is saying, what kind of fortune I have. That emperor of this great nation himself is bringing and serving the dinner to me. See, that is the power of holy name of the Lord. That is the power of surrender and dependency, to develop dependency upon Lord. That emperor of this nation is bringing food for me. I have to go nowhere. So even all those material things, everything Krishna takes care when we depend and surrender to the Lord. Now it's 10 o'clock. I was very much worried. Even this topic is so vast, so deep. 2-3 hours are also not sufficient. But I've tried to touch all the points, main points. Hope all these points will help you in your day-to-day life. And already it's 10 o'clock. So with this, we will close here. We may take up questions in the next class. Or if you have any questions or anything to share, all of you can share a post in the group. And we will close here with this. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
जय
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
जय
Jai.